Danganronpa.
Und damit herzlich willkommen zur weiteren Episode. Ich habe das Gefühl, also, Spoiler, ich habe mir mal alle Executions nochmal mit den ganzen alten angeschaut und es fehlen wohl echt viele Executions. Kann es sein, dass wir uns gleich echt alle opfern und alle exekutiert werden? Das wäre echt heftig. And then the Monokuma and Cups Theater segment began. But with all the Monocups destroyed, the segment was no longer possible. And so the curtain practically fell. Okay. Und Monokuma ist echt nervös. Irgendwie. Als ob ich das jetzt war. Also es gab halt auch jetzt nichts, wo ich drüber nachdenken konnte weiter. Ich nehme an, jetzt kommt der Struggle.
When Kokichi remembered that he was a remnant of despair, I planned to kill him. I thought that if I killed him, this game, and the battle between hope and despair would... I was confident in my talent as an assassin. I knew I would be able to do it.
We've tried to end this killing game before, but...
You were naive.
Huh?
That's what I thought. I knew Kokichi would take advantage of my naivete, simply because it's him.
Maki totally gets me!
That's why. I needed to settle it myself. I took the poison arrows and the crossbow, and broke into the hangar with an exisal. But when I entered the hangar, I saw something I never expected. Kaito and Kokichi were fighting each other. Kokichi was shot in the arm with a crossbow arrow, probably by Kaito when he fought back. Both of them stopped and looked at the exisal, most likely surprised by its sudden appearance. Kokichi immediately took out his remote and attempted to control the exisal I was in. I jumped out of the exisal before he could, and shot Kokichi in the back with an arrow. That should have been enough to stop him, since the arrow was coated with poison.
The Strike 9 poison, correct? But why pick that particular poison? Some of the poisons in my lab were far more lethal.
I wanted Kokichi to confess his true intentions before he died, and find out why he was always lying and trying to confuse us.
What do you mean?
If he was the mastermind, it would have been easier for him to hide in the shadows, right? He could have made it seem as if the late Junko was secretly behind this killing game. That way, he could reveal himself as the surprise mastermind to liven up the game. Because of his suspicious actions, anyone would already suspect him as the mastermind. Especially with that message in the courtyard. Kokichi said it was a hint, but was it necessary for him to go out of his way just for a hint?
As a remnant of despair, I imagine he wanted to feel the despair of his plan being thwarted.
I think that if he wanted the thrill, he would have carried out the plan carefully. So when his carefully laid out plan goes to waste, he would be in utter despair.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maki must have wanted to hear it directly from Kokichi himself.
But it was pointless. I was a fool for thinking I could have a serious talk with him.
What?
Talking about? Remnants of despair? What's that? I don't understand anything you're saying. But anyway, why are you starting a killing game when it should have ended? You already know it's all meaningless. And that I'm the mastermind. Do you love killing that much?
Shut up, you asshole! I realized it was pointless to continue the conversation, so I shot the final arrow. But then... What?
Kaito protected Kokichi?
Why? Why would Kaito protect Kokichi?
At that moment, my mind went blank. I knew I had to do something about the poison. I rushed to Shuichi's research lab for the antidote.
So you didn't have the antidote with you at the time?
I used Strike 9 poison to torture Kokichi for info, but I planned to kill him from the start.
That's so mean!
But that was my first mistake. Because of that,
You what?
I ended up killing Kaito. When I returned with the antidote, the hangar shutter had been closed. I assumed it was Kokichi's doing. But because of that, I couldn't enter the hangar anymore. I needed to give Kaito the antidote somehow, so I went to the bathroom window. Kaito, can you hear me? Quick, drink this antidote! After calling out to him, I chucked the antidote through the bathroom window. Kaito noticed it and grabbed the antidote, but Kokichi stole it from him.
Sorry, but I can't die here, since I'm the mastermind of this killing game.
Wait! There's only one antidote!
Oh, you don't have to worry about Kaito. He fulfilled his dream, right? He already went to space.
Damn it!
Stop!
Phew, I feel so much better. I guess that's a wrap. Or maybe not. Because now another class trial is going to start.
Last trial?
You'll be the Blackened for this case, you know. The Blackened who killed Kaito.
I killed...
Shut it! Screw the class trials. Like hell am I gonna let you have your way?
Kaito! Why did you protect Kokichi? If you didn't help him, then...
I couldn't help it. Even if it's Kokichi, I can't have you kill anybody.
What?
Aw, Kaito wasn't protecting me. He was protecting Maki. The situation just got way worse. Maki is gonna become the Blackened responsible for killing you. All because you protected me!
So don't you worry, Makiro. I'm not gonna die that easily. Just leave it to me. I'll put an end to this killing game.
You're still full of energy. Even like that, you really are not boring. I want to see what a dying Kaito can do. So, show me what you've got. I won't meddle with your plans.
What are you...
Don't mind me. Run, Makiro. Just hurry up and run. Run and live. You gotta live.
But I refused to give up. I tried to enter the hangar by breaking the control panel with my knife. In the end, I couldn't.
So that's where the marks in the control panel came from, huh?
After that, I returned to the bathroom window once more, but I didn't see anyone. The bathroom door was closed. I called out, but neither Kaito nor Kokichi answered. I couldn't do anything anymore. All I could do was leave. That's when I made up my mind. As the Blackened who killed Kaito, I would kill Kokichi during this class trial, in exchange for all of your lives.
So that's what happened.
Then Kokichi, knowing what he knew, still helped Maki cover up her crime?
Was that why you smushed Kaito in the hydraulic press?
Kaito wanted Maki to be spotless. As his friend, I felt obliged to help him.
How dare you make fun of him! You call yourself a friend? You enjoyed watching us suffer! You fucking asshole!
Ooh, Maki is so scary. Good thing I'm in this exosoul. Pretty sure Maki would have already killed me if I was out there in the flesh. So, what are everyone's plans now? With the truth out in the open, who are you guys gonna vote for? You can vote for me, but if you do, we'll all die together. Or vote for Maki.
Mache ich zuerst die falsche Entscheidung oder die richtige? Content.
Well, choose whichever you want. I don't care either way.
Why? Why are you so calm?
When
Your
the
life
NPC
depends on
sees
it
you and
too.
you're safe.
Who cares? Just choose already. Come on, who are you gonna vote for?
No, we can't vote yet. We don't have the whole truth. This case isn't over.
Huh?
Thank you for telling us everything, Maki. Thanks to you, I finally understand. There's another hidden truth within your testimony.
A hidden truth?
Yes, I'm positive. Because there's something wrong with the testimony you've given us.
The part of Maki's testimony doesn't add up. Kaito protecting.
Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
Ach so. Man kommt nicht an das Control Panel, ohne dass der Alarm losgeht.
That's it!
Ah.
Maki said she used a knife to try to break the control panel and enter the hangar. But that doesn't make sense, because there's an alarm system on the shutter.
Oh yeah! The alarm should have gone off if someone got close to the shutter.
I was too focused to notice at the time. But now that you mention it, it is odd.
Maybe the sensor just missed her.
Nah, the security there isn't that sloppy. If a shady person got near the shutter, the alarm would have gone off without question.
Then why didn't the alarm go off?
Like I told you, this isn't over. There's still a hidden truth to find.
That's right, there must be some kind of reason behind all those oddities. What?
I did attempt to enter the hangar. And I tried to destroy the control panel with my knife. At the time, the alarm system didn't go off.
But if you had approached the shutter, the alarm would have activated with 100% certainty.
Maybe it was just broken. Perhaps it was turned to a special setting?
Or maybe Maki is telling a lie. Did you really try to break the control panel with it?
I'm not going to tell any more lies. I did attempt to enter the control panel with my knife. At the time, the alarm system didn't go off.
Weil,
But if you had approached the shutter, the alarm would have
Little Aim.
Broken. Perhaps it was turned to a special setting?
Nee, das geht ja nicht.
But if you had approached
Ist das anderes?
with 100% certainty.
That's wrong!
Du kannst noch eins gestohlen haben.
There is a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb would take it down.
But Maki only had one bomb, and she used it during the raid this morning.
Then the only other person who could have used one is Kokichi, right?
Huh? Why would I use an electro bomb? I had no reason to shut off the alarm, right? I'd be at a disadvantage if I did that.
I guess so. I can't come up with a reason why Kokichi would want to cut the alarm.
But we know that the alarm system was neutralized. It had to be. In that case, then.
Got it! Disabling the alarm system wasn't the real objective.
What?
The main object of Kokichi using the electro bomb was.
That's it! It was to deactivate the safety function on the press.
Deactivate the safety
Aber
function?
macht man damit die Press nicht auch kaputt?
The electrobomb wouldn't have just taken down the alarm system. It also would have disabled the hydraulic press's safety function.
Und die Presse selber?
That's true,
Oh,
but
als ob.
why would he do that?
There's only one reason that anyone would want to do that. If I'm right, it means that we've been thinking about this all wrong.
All wrong.
What aspect of this case runs contrary to the new evidence?
That's it!
Dass doch durch die Presse gestorben ist.
Kaito's cause of death.
What?
If the electrobomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote, maybe Kaito didn't die by poison. It could be something else entirely.
Yes, the cause of death could now be.
This is it! The hydraulic press. Kaito could
Aber wenn du die
killed by the
Elektrobombe
press after
verwendest,
all.
dann geht doch auch die Presse kaputt.
What? He could've?
If the safety was off, the press could have crushed Kaito while
Oh
he was still alive.
nö.
Right after I threw the antidote, I tried to open the shutter. So, Kaito should have still been alive.
And if he was crushed by the hydraulic press after that, then we have our cause of death.
If that's the case, it'd mean the one who killed Kaito wasn't Maki.
It would be whoever was operating the hydraulic press. Kokichi.
I see. Very impressive. The hydraulic press could have been the cause of death. But that's just a possibility.
What do you mean?
It's possible that I killed Kaito with the press, but there's no way to know. Kaito's death could have been either the poison arrow or the hydraulic.
Lass mal beide voten.
Both causes are possible, but you'll never be able to determine it, no matter what.
No matter what? That's not true. We can probably solve this mystery too. Right, Shuichi?
Is it really possible to determine Kaito's actual cause of death?
I hate to admit it, but Kokichi is right. We have no way to prove the cause of death.
What did you say?
You can't check the body, and you don't have any conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what happened. But I know, because I was actually involved.
So that's what you were trying to do. You were trying to commit an unsolvable murder.
Do you finally get it? Yep, that was my plan. The gimmick of this murder case isn't the unknown victim, but rather the unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer. There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, right? But there's nothing you can do about it. This is just how the trial goes. So, who is the culprit? Maki or me? The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off. It's voting time!
Okay. Kokichi hat die ganze Zeit gesagt, er ist der Culprit. Das war dazu da, um uns... Gibt es irgendein Argument? Die Bombe? Also, Die Bombe muss die Presse kaputt gemacht haben. Also muss es Maki sein. Haben wir die in...
That's my line. I'm the one who decides when it's voting time.
Oh, come on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? Because you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do.
Huh? Yes, of course.
Er weiß es selber nicht. Er weiß es selber nicht.
What kind of a reaction is that?
The culprit, you say? Yes, of course I know.
Why do you seem so
Er weiß es
flustered?
selber nicht.
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about?
What's going on?
Monokuma, do you not know who the culprit is either?
Huh? Oh, what do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
You don't know, do you?
What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is?
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either. If Monokuma doesn't know, what does that tell us about this case? Wait, this case?
Yes, that's it. So that's what Kokichi's real objective was.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either.
A murder Monokuma couldn't figure out?
What's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
But consider how many elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean that he was using some way of monitoring us.
Perhaps there are hidden cameras strategically placed to avoid our detection.
I can't say for certain, but he must be keeping watch somehow. Kokichi probably used the electrobomb to scramble whatever that was. The electrobomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly.
Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective were to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the exosols... Yes, the exosols weren't protecting Monokuma. They were... That's it! They were watching Monokuma.
Watching him?
Yes. Remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation?
And at the time, the exercises were on autopilot, directed only to observe me. Ja, das wollte ich gesagt.
If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies that they weren't watching us. They were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime scene.
That reminds me. Before I stole an exosol, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me.
So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki.
Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the classroom must always be fair. The person who shared that information with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it will be fair to all participants.
She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki.
You're right.
So to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the exosols to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is?
I told you there's no point. Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
No, Kokichi might not be controlling Monokuma at all.
What?
But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monokuma?
Kokichi might not be the mastermind.
Rentaro.
Remember that the only reason we think that is because Kokichi told us. Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi is just lying to us.
Sacramento is this?
No way I lied! I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is... all me, baby.
Right. He's a remnant of despair. How'd we forget that?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind.
Well, I guess. But is that really possible?
Well, Monokuma,
I can't answer that without causing problems, because I gotta run this trial fair and square.
Even more reason to give us the answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say this class trial is fair?
Yeah, tell us! Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
No need to think about it. You're being way too forward.
Aren't you normally the forward one? I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy, too.
Die Fakten.
In the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth. Unlike the lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
Das wollte er.
is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind.
What?
Is that really true?
Kokichi was just messing with you. I never once said he was the mastermind.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie?
Yeah, that is what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the mastermind.
I see. Kokichi's own deductions.
Do you wanna know? Then I will tell you. I'm getting kinda bored with all the lying. Okay, yeah.
His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly.
But what about the Exosols? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how'd he control them so easily?
He just used Mew's remote control, right?
So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew?
Oh, you didn't know? Mew not only invented the electro bomb and the electro hammer, she also made a remote control that can hijack any electronic device. Kokichi just slapped a receiver on each of the Exosols and took them for a spin.
Hey, isn't it a bit unfair to tell them all that?
Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game.
Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway.
What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting.
There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't the mastermind.
Were we just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time?
What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi?
Yeah! Now you're gonna be all quiet? This is so frustrating.
Then if he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
But I wanna know.
The remaster is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko Yoshima, but that can't be it. She's dead. We would never come into contact with her. If so, who's done this? Who planned this killing game?
Anyway, this conversation has flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class trial is to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So, yeah, get to talking.
I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit!
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision-making to Monokuma. But you gotta run the class trial too. so no mistakes, okay?
Are you trying to get me to do something?
Ja, mach
I've been
das.
watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out.
Hä?
So, let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too. This will be the final class trial. Me versus Monokuma.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No.
Winning the game
Beating the
itself.
game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I'll win! That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma! If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner!
You're dragging us around like this? Just so you can win a game?
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
Whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the winner.
Don't underestimate me, or Shuichi and the others for that matter.
What?
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game. But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again.
Whose side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party.
What?
Who invited you?
Now, let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case.
Well, we were going to do it anyway.
What the fuck?
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah! Let's just focus on the case.
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after.
He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he?
In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
So another truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. That evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around. Was ist jetzt noch nicht geklärt?
Oh no! Damn it!
Swipe pattern bloodstain. Was passt jetzt nicht zusammen? Also, wenn er nicht weiß, wer der Culprit ist, was müssen wir uns da mal anschauen? Hatte ich schon? Ja, okay. What? Bin ich irgendwie super los? Oh boy, letzter Versuch.
This is it!
Ich habe vergessen, dass das existiert.
Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press.
Okay, jetzt muss ich...
Kokichi said that he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma. So what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Warum ist bei dem Video... Moment, wie kann die Kamera funktionieren, wenn du eine Elektrobombe...
Maybe he crushed Kaito with the hydraulic press, so the cause of death would be unknown?
Er muss die Elektrobombe danach geschmissen haben, sonst wäre die Kamera kaputt. Also ist Maki der Culprit.
But if that were the only objective, there would be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
Huh? Really?
There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
You're lying again, Koichi. There's a method to your madness. If you want Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video, it must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of the murder, but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it? What does it show? Living. Vital. Living? Das war ein I, oder? War das ein L? Ich denke die ganze Zeit, das sind alles Ls. Ich verlese mich total, glaube ich. Das sind Is. Timing. Timing. Ups. Was wird jetzt passieren? Do they think I did? Well, this next part's mandatory, so let's...
Is this really?
Okay, die hätten dafür eine extra Szene machen sollen, weil Monokuma ja mitspielt. Ich mach mal zuerst M, dann machen wir mal ein T. Dann muss es ein C sein. Was gibt's denn noch? Ein M? Ich hatte doch sonst alles, oder? Ich hatte alles. Ich bin mir sicher, ich hatte alles. I hatte ich. Ja, hatte ich. Wie hatte ich ja... Nee, wie? Vital Fighte? Wim. Ah, Victim. What can't be identified after... Hä?
The victim.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now,
If
we
you
know
show
that...
the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Switched? Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
Was es doch Kokichi?
Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
If there was an unknown body, then we could guess the victim was switched. But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible. The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage,
Cut?
they have been able to switch the victim. And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing function.
Ja, pause.
Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage. Remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible.
Doch.
Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Oh, and what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Maki,
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then. Let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again.
Yes, please.
Oh, let's all talk it over together.
Together. Don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only gonna wear you out. Yes!
yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
Post.
We could figure that out. Maybe we'd know.
I knew there was a trick to that until Kichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
Genau. Dazwischen. What could it be? That's what's suspicious about it.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check that there's no editing function in that.
Ja,
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check that there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be that the video was shot at another location?
Ja.
Any other bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
Yes, mit dem Pause.
The person in that video.
Something seemed off about that video to me.
Yes.
When the hydraulic press stopped.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function.
Dachte ich, vielleicht kann ich auch mal prüfen.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement...
The person in that video.
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a moment.
I agree.
Warum jetzt das, aber okay.
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press...
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
But in the video...
The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body?
But why would it stop?
Wegen der Safety Function. Okay, das ist es nicht. Das ist es auch nicht. Dann ist es hier irgendwo. Da, hier oben. Okay, jetzt muss ich aufpassen. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Oder ist es hier unten? Ist hier unten noch was? Nö. Hier unten links vielleicht noch. Ah. Oh ne, das ist der Schwanz. Sonst ist hier nichts, ne? Puff. Na, jetzt können wir eigentlich hier full on Kill gehen. What? Ach so. Soll das Control Panel darstellen? Ja. Ich lasse das mal erstmal. So, und das nehmen wir mal. Ich dachte, das soll irgendwie so einen Controller darstellen. Unsere Spielekonsole.
The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Außer das Video.
Huh? What do you mean?
You stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
Ja, jetzt müssen wir die Kamera. Nicht das ist die Elektrobombe. Was ist das? Die Kamera, okay, das müssen wir. Schade, ich dachte, das wird jetzt daraus. Ja, komm, dann opfern wir eben ein bisschen Zeit da. Oh, passt. Okay, keine Ahnung, was die Tipps sollen. Jetzt. Ich stoppe den Electrohammer.
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
That's what I've been saying this whole time!
When did you ever say that?
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me, but now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be
Ja,
set
damit
up
man nicht
precisely.
das sieht.
There! The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here to operate the press and the camera at the same time. It would have to be near the switch.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
Hammering, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height.
Ist jetzt wie das Boot? Wird das jetzt 10.000 Mal abgespielt? Wie oft muss Kaito noch sterben? Oder Kokichi?
Correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Or he was crushed by the press. He was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive.
Oder?
Wait just a minute.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Oh.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well, I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
Thrown away?
The other bodies are... gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Mit Kokichi? Aber wir wissen es nicht. Das kann ja auch gelogen sein.
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Something important?
Yeah. Kokichi, ja. Ach so. Ja, die haben sich halt abgesprochen. Aber wie nennt man das? Switch. I just flipped the switch. War das hier ein S? Ich bin mir unsicher. Okay. Victim. Okay. Swapped oder so vermutlich. Victims. Swapped. Swapped. Ja. Victim change. Okay. Warum ist da ein P? Also die haben getauscht, ne? Victim Alive. Also es muss ja irgendwas mit ST. Victim. Moment, habe ich die ganze Zeit jetzt ein C übersehen? Victim. Achso, Victim helped. Wow. Wow.
I can't believe I overlooked this. What do you mean? There were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means
Der Eismann kommt.
we were working together.
Moment, intakte deutsche Einheit?
The only 2 people involved in the swap were the victim and the culprit. The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press, while the victim lay inside. If they switched places while the press and the
Und
camera
jetzt
were
küsst euch.
stopped, then the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim. To put it simply, both people operated the press and camera at different times. An impossible trick, unless the victim and culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand.
Victim and culprit cooperated? Is that even possible?
It sounds bizarre, but perhaps that was the whole point. Commit a crime that was so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
Wir wissen immer noch nicht.
Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So, have you realized who done it yet?
Also klar, ich weiß, dass das Spiel sagen will, aber ich sage immer noch, das passt alles nicht.
Saw in the video was Kaito, which means Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera. At first, if the two of them switched while the press was stopped, then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito. So, the person inside that exosome isn't Kokichi. It has to be Kaito.
What did you say?
So the culprit for this case is Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious.
I don't want to believe it either. But it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective work has led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
Is that true? Is Kaito
Das
really in there?
Hey, answer us! If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
Hä?
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive. Because I'm the culprit.
Wait, you? But didn't you
I
say...
saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito.
Genau.
There's no doubt Kaito died. And he died because of my poison arrow.
But you told us you didn't want to kill Kaito.
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
I don't understand.
Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? If he's the culprit, you are trying to get him away?
There was only one antidote. So it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press. Either way, those are the two options. Monokuma knows the answer, right?
Huh? Are those the only options?
I guess that's how things turned out.
No, that can't be. The person in that exosol is...
It's not Kaito! I saw Kokichi drink the antidote! There's no mistake. Kaito is dead. I killed Kaito. There's absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
Ah, I thought so. Maki's trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels, but if Kaito is the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan? I can't imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it, I truly believe that. But I gave to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover that truth.
But Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
What?
You saw him drink it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually did it. So maybe there's another possibility.
What are you talking about? Impossible. That's impossible. There is no other possibility. I killed Kaito!
LOL.
I killed Kaito! You're the one who's wrong. He died from my poison arrow.
Übrigens, im Video sieht das mega unsynchronisiert
There's no
aus.
other possibility. What do you know?
Lol, das krieg ich besser hin, als auf das Ding zu achten.
I killed Kaito! You're the one who's wrong. He died from my poison arrow.
Oh yeah, Mr.
Doesn't
Krabs.
matter what you say.
Wanna prepared.
I'm telling you, this is the truth.
Da sehen wir's, Maki.
But you keep getting in the way.
Oh. You're gonna be eluded.
So goddamn annoying. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm telling you, this is the truth.
Nice. Den
I was
besten
at
Weg.
the scene. So I know I'm not wrong. I'm sorry I kept quiet till now. I wanted to believe I didn't kill him. But I won't run away from the truth anymore. Because I know what I saw. I was at the scene. So I know I'm not wrong. I'm sorry I kept quiet till now. I wanted to believe I didn't kill him. But I won't run away from the truth anymore. Because I know what I saw. I was at the scene. So I
Jetzt
know I'm
ganz
not
genau
wrong.
hinschauen.
I'm sorry I kept quiet
Haltet
till
euch
now.
ready.
I wanted to believe I didn't kill
Here it
him.
comes.
But I won't run away from
Hier. Okay, nice. Komm schon.
I saw Kokichi drink the antidote.
Pretended to drink the antidote.
It ends here!
Habe ich mir mehr erhofft.
Kokichi just pretended to drink the antidote. He didn't actually drink it.
He pretended to drink it?
Drinking the antidote was part of his lie. Maki could only see so much through the window. She didn't confirm Kokichi drank it. I believe that Kokichi knew this and just pretended to drink the antidote. After Maki left, he gave the antidote to Kaito. There's a strong possibility that all of this was done to make Kaito cooperate.
Make him cooperate?
The swapping trick required the victim and culprit to work together. Kaito's cooperation was essential to Kokichi's plan. However, I don't think Kokichi would be able to sway Kaito easily. He needed leverage. He gave Kaito the antidote in exchange for his cooperation.
Wenn Maki nicht der Mörder
His own
wird.
life, you mean?
Kaito had no choice. He had to cooperate after Kokichi saved his life. That's just Kaito's character. And Kokichi knew that. He swallowed his pride with the antidote and agreed to participate in Kokichi's plan.
But didn't Kokichi make this plan?
Nee,
What
er
good
hat,
is it for him if he's
wenn er
dead?
gestorben wäre, wäre es Maki gewesen. Das
This
wollte
was
er
all
nicht.
part of Kokichi's plan to confuse us. You wouldn't think that someone would plan their own murder.
He went so far as to give up his life just to create this mystery?
Only Kokichi could think of something so nefarious. Who else would agree to die just to execute their plan?
Crazy. Why would he go that far?
I bet Kokichi was determined to beat me at my own game, no matter what. But too bad. Shuichi figured out the truth.
Truth? Are you sure it's not delusion?
Delusion?
A delusion completely off the mark. To make you think that I die. But who cares what you guys think? This is between me and Monokuma. I don't give a crap if the extras in this game get it right or not.
Extras?
I'm fine with being an extra.
Huh? Why?
If we're just extras, then even if we get it wrong, we won't get killed.
No, I'd still kill you all. Don't put Kokichi's words in my mouth.
Why?
Oof.
You are being so friendly with us.
If Monokuma gets it right, then he takes everyone's lives, yeah? But if Monokuma gets it wrong, then he'd have no right to take everyone's lives. If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, then this killing game can't function anymore.
Can't function anymore.
Kaito, I believe in you.
If you're cooperating with this plan, you must have a reason. To determine that reason, I need to reveal
I
the
still
truth.
think Kaito is the culprit. Thinking of it that way makes all the pieces fit. I will show you the truth. The truth you can't deny.
Und das machen wir in der nächsten Episode, Leute. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst gerne eine positive Bewertung da. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Episode. Bis dann. Ciao.